I'm not happy about it.
I was cheering for
but
the Dodgers last year against the Yankees because of Freddie Freeman. And also because my grandpa was a Dodgers fan. So there's that. As cool as the LA Dodgers are, it's the Toronto Blue Jays time. Shohei Ohtani, meet Alejandro Kirk.
Hey, Ohtani.
You can't believe you're saying that.
Don't like it at all.
Take that goddamn hat off.
I hate that I am having to cheer for the Dodgers in this position. I can make peace with it. Because it's at least what I expected. This is my Panthers-Oilers moment. Welcome back, everybody, to this week's episode of the Chroncast. As always, I'm your host, Alex Rickman, editor and head writer at Canucks Chronicles, club reporter at Altitude FC, and AJ Barner enthusiast for the Seattle Seahawks. Joining me this week, as always, from the hockey news is Kaja Antic. Kaja, how's it going?
I'm good, Alex. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Big game. Well, not big game, but semi-significant game tonight for the Canucks. We'll come into that later. At time of recording, it is Tuesday at just about 11 a.m., and we'll be taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. But before we get into that, let's talk about the last couple games. There's been a few interesting ones to go. So, last episode we recorded the day of the game against Dallas. I then proceeded to forget to edit and upload it until after that day. I think about 2 days later. So, also, quick apology for me for my production on that one. Anyway, let's talk about that Dallas win. I was at work that night and didn't watch the game. Kaja, please talk about that Dallas win.
That Dallas win was actually insane. What night was that again?
Thursday, I believe.
Okay, because I was also working that night.
Okay, cool.
But we had the game on because it was hockey working. Yeah, the comeback, which they also had the next night, was crazy. They were down 2-0 early. Elias Patterson put one into his own net, which is great. You love to see that. But yeah, they came back, score 4 unanswered, end at 5-3. Quinn Hughes gets the empty netter for his first of the season. Yeah, but I don't know. It's both games. They head into the first intermission down by 2, and they come back, which is a good thing to see, you know. The Blue Jays were really great at that this year. But it's not something you want to see repeated over and over again. So, like, it's good to have a comeback against Dallas. You know, the Canucks really love to do that. Chicago, that was a shootout win. Brock Besser, let's go.
Happy Brocktober to those who celebrate.
Happy Brocktober to those who celebrate, especially. We were going ham in the arena there that night. Yeah, like it's good to come back with the win and have that goal scoring performance, and there were great chances on the rush and everything. But you want to see it right out of the gate from your boys, and that wasn't it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got mixed feelings about the comeback wins. Again, in one case I didn't see the game, so that's a little bit, will affect my analysis. But the way I see it, on the one hand, in past years, this team has felt like the moment they go down, it's over. They just don't have the wherewithal to stay in the game. So it felt good to see the comeback wins and the resilience there to actually go get it done, especially scoring 4 unanswered against Dallas. Yeah. With Chicago, go ahead.
Grace, it was Casey DeSmith in net, so yeah, we know how that dude operates. As a goaltender, we have him as a backup, and that was the year we were really good. But still, it's not Jake Ottinger. If it was 4 unanswered against Jake Ottinger, it would be insane. But I'll just remind yourself, it's Casey DeSmith.
No. And then with the Chicago game, it feels like we didn't look that good in that game against Chicago, which is in itself concerning. But I kind of like to see from a team in those games where it's just not working and you're not the better team even when you should be, the fact that you can still go out there and get a result. Mm-hmm. That's important to be able to do over the down the stretch. So it was in a way encouraging to see them actually manage to scrape together a result off that poor performance.
Yeah. Also, putting in, it's the back-to-back. I mean, usually teams on a back-to-back are more fiery in the first period and then slow down as the game progresses, but the Canucks didn't do that. This season has a lot of that like compressed schedule because of the Olympic break in February. So, a lot of teams have back-to-backs. A lot of teams have really messed up schedules. The Canucks have had so many games in the last week. But that could be a factor in like the effort shown. But that could be across the board as well, too, for like all teams.
No, totally. Anything more to offer on these games, or should we just move on to kind of the bigger story?
Let's move on.
All right, so 9:30 a.m. Pacific time puck drop on Sunday against the Washington Capitals.
Mm-hmm.
Went interestingly. So, first of all, we'll talk about the game before getting into the kind of bigger news out of this. So, 4-3 win in the end. Canucks, I believe it was 4-0 after the first period. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it was 3-0. They scored the first goal, and then Washington got one back. And then
yes,
that was the end of the
second. That is.
So
I've just double-checked. Blueger's. Yes, Blueger's goal did come in the second. I've just checked this. Thank you for correcting me. Washington make it 4-3. Kind of the opposite story of the other games in that sense, in that this time we got the jump early and kind of let it slip, but it was good that they at least kept it on track enough to still not get sent to overtime even and still just get that win. And I mean, one of the biggest positives in this game, Elias Pettersson scored on the right net. His second goal of the season, his first one that will be counted as a goal. I texted you about this after the goal. The body language from Elias Pettersson after this goal, he didn't even look like excited to score per se. You could just see relief in his body language that, okay, one has gone in. So I'm hoping...
Yeah.
We haven't had a game since then. I'm hoping that shows a little more tonight, that it feels like maybe he's got a bit of weight off his shoulders now. Let's see what happens, but I'm hoping that we get a looser Elias Pettersson as a result of this.
Yeah, because especially with like all the noise regarding like he's been the scapegoat this year. Sometimes semi-warranted, I'll say, because there have been other players that have not performed as well this year. But yeah, it kind of like just that sigh. Yeah, that showed that like he got one. He got one to go his way, and I feel like that's going to be the. I predicted that he was going to lead the Canucks in points this year, so I really hope that means he gets going. But yeah, that's fun. Good job, Elias Pettersson.
Yeah, but also rough game
Tyler
on.
Myers.
Sorry.
Tyler Myers.
Oh yes, completely forgot Tyler Myers' 100th NHL goal. So congratulations to everyone's favorite Chaos Giraffe.
I love Unk.
But yeah, rough game on the injury front for sure. Starting with, we'll come back to the big one. Jonathan Lekkerimäki left the game and did not return, has now been placed on IR. Teddy Blueger did not return after a hit at some point in the third period. Went down clutching his leg. Didn't practice, not expected to play tonight, I believe. Mm-hmm. Not sure how long he's out. The big one, obviously, though, Philip Hedl taking a hit from Tom Wilson at open ice, going off. Not 100% sure what the nature of the injury is, hoping it's not a head injury. But, Kaja, you wanted to get into this a little bit?
Yeah, okay. So, Tom Wilson, he's kind of notorious for these kind of hits. And while it may be a clean hit, there was no penalty on the play. That also does not give a good example to hockey players that are younger. For example, I don't know if it was the day before, if it was the same day as this Canucks Washington game, but I was doing play-by-play for a game involving 13-year-olds, and there was a hit thrown like that, which, like, obviously the 13-year-olds have to learn it from somewhere. So in a way, like, I used to be so, like, okay, it's a clean hit, it's fine, like, it's hockey, but they need to move forward from this, and especially players like Tom Wilson, like a Jacob Trouba, like a Radko Gudas, like those types of players need to be evolved or need to evolve their game out of that because they are inspiring children to give each other lasting head injuries, which is not something that should be a thing. And while Filipino is also not a child, what number of head injury is this now? People were questioning his readiness headed into this season after the hit from Jason Dickinson last year. And then this year, he was down on the ice for a little bit. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but also, like, his health has to come first. He's, 26, 27?
Something like that.
He's a young guy. And the fact that his hockey career could be over because some guy decides to bulk up and show he's a man, like, come on, man. It's a 12:30 on a Sunday, and you're gonna try and kill people out there. Thomas, smarten up. I'm assuming his name's Thomas, because Tom,
Presumably.
You're named after a train, dude. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, what's really also frustrating about this hit is how late it comes. Because I think throwing a big hit like that in open ice is always going to be questionable at best, I think.
Yeah.
The puck's off Heedle's stick for, like, well over a second there. There is time to spin off him a little bit. Not, at least, like, you can finish your check in a way that's not going to be sending him down like that and potentially ending his NHL career.
Mm-hmm. Like,
there's a way to go about this that it still involves finishing your checks, playing your hard physical hockey while not endangering the players around you. Why are we not trying to find a way to push for that more and try to eradicate these kind of hits from the game?
I was muted. Yeah, what I was going to say also, like, it looked like a lower hit than the Mitchell hit on Taves, from 2009, which is the example that the Netflix documentary Mr. McMahon used as CTE in the NHL. To say about that, I like, that is like one of the biggest hits potentially in NHL history. It was one of my favorites when I was, growing up as a hockey fan, because it was also in Chicago and, the whole rivalry against the Canucks there. But yeah, it's just makes me mad. Anyway.
Yeah, just hoping for the best for Filipino here. Like, this is not at all what you want to see for anyone, especially a guy who has had this concussion history. So just really hoping for a positive outcome.
Even though he's a Man United fan.
Just speaking of the injuries we've got right now, I'd like to pay some attention to tonight's game against Pittsburgh and the lineup we are expected to ice.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, a couple roster moves yesterday. Victor Mancini sent down. Was someone else sent down with him? I'm forgetting.
I don't know Mancini was sent down.
Oh yeah, Mancini got sent down.
He also got in his first career fight.
He did.
In the NHL.
Which also...
against Brandon Duhaime.
And held his own. Like, he was...
yeah.
Having a good fight there. So, good to see that. But no, Mancini's been sent down. Apparently, this was supposed to be a paper transaction, but the league denied the paper transaction, so he has to play at least one game in Abbotsford before we can bring him back.
Shocker.
Called up to the roster, we have called up Niels Oman, Tom Wielander. We called up and then proceeded to send back down Jimmy Schultz. And the return of a Canucks legend, Joseph Labate, 8.5 years after he last took the ice for the Vancouver Canucks, has been called back up, and he's in the lineup.
Oh. Okay.
Dan Murphy tweeted the lineups from practice today from morning skate. Here's what we got. Just want you to give us a live reaction to these lines. First line right now. Brock Besser, by the way, also still not back from his personal leave yet, but Adam Foote says he is expected back fairly soon.
Okay. Hope everything's all right.
Of course. Top line. Jake DeBrusk, Elias Pettersson, Connor Garland.
Okay. I like that.
Second line. They've got the Abbey line on the second line. It's Bain, Sasson, and Carlson.
Which, to be real, I don't hate. They were really electric.
They've been good, it's just the top 6 is a big jump.
Yeah.
Third line, Kane, Ratu, Sherwood.
Okay.
Fourth line, O'Connor, Oman, Labate.
Okay.
So some damage to the forward core right now.
Yeah. I still think Kane should be scratched.
The thing is, you do technically need to ice a certain number of players.
Go 11-7. Just keep Evander Kane off the ice.
And
he does nothing productive.
Speaking of defensemen, by the way, it is a little bit of a different look on the back end, especially with Mancini now sent down.
Okay.
So it is Hughes Hronek, Marcus Pettersson, Tyler Myers, top 4, as expected. Bottom pair, DPD, P.O. Joseph.
Yeah, because he's back.
He's back. Looks like, again, anything can change between now and game time. These were just the lines they were rolling with at practice, which usually leads to what they play in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be an interesting one, if nothing else.
I mean, granted, it's not like it's a tough opponent. I will say, it's the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2025. They are a retirement home at best. Yeah. The Canucks lineup isn't very inspiring, but if you want the speed of Hedl as your second line, I think the best option there is to go with Sasson. Which is an insane thing to say, because I think Ratu also has flashes, but especially you don't want to wreck the chemistry there with Baines and Carlson by switching them, and like giving them more ice time I think could generate more for the Canucks. But
yeah, pretty much my hope for that Abbotsford line is just try to replicate the energy we saw from the third line a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
From that Joshua Bluger-Garland line.
Yeah.
That's obviously, I'm not going to expect the same results as that line because that was the best third line in the NHL, and this is your fourth line being bumped up to becoming your second line.
Yeah.
But just like, keep the energy up, keep playing hard, just get something done because, wow, we are really thin at forward right now.
What was I going to say? I should know this. Okay, so you know how you said Mancini can't play until he plays an AHL game?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't have a game till Friday. So, he's out for the Canucks for at least until the 24th because I was just like, I don't remember if Abby plays, because usually the AHL schedule is like Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, rather, or Friday, Sunday. They don't have games on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. But they host the Ontario Reign for their banner raising night on Friday. So, I'll let you know if I see Mancini.
I mean, I think from what I heard, it was we tried to do a paper transaction pretty much and got denied. I'm not 100% sure what was... This is from Ian McIntyre, by the way.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure what was denied about it, what our goal was with the paper transaction, but I guess the NHL might be cracking down on things a little bit with that.
Gary Bettman said, I hate you specifically. Which
That's another possibility.
The theme of the NHL since the 60s when it comes to Vancouver.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm reading a book about it, that's why.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like giving Labate this shot. Just because it feels like we brought in Evander Kane to do two things. It was to shoot and to hit. So far, he has thrown one good hit, turned the puck over a bunch, not really shot or done anything apart from stand there.
Yeah, the only shot he's shot was with the director of the FBI. So,
but yeah, I feel like we really were getting pushed around too much through these early games. That's one of my biggest gripes with the team so far. And the guy we brought in to try to help with that has contributed absolutely nothing towards it.
Yeah, we got rid of the guy that
actually helped with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Labate gives you somebody who I think will stand up for his teammates when that becomes necessary at some point.
Yes.
Like, The fact that, going back to the Tom Wilson hit, the guy who was jumping Tom Wilson afterwards, that has to be Evander Kane. There is no one else on this team who should be doing that, especially not Linus Karlsson. I'm so happy for Linus. I love seeing that from him. That energy from him is great. That should not be his job on any planet.
No.
On no form of this team. That should be Evander Kane's job or Derek Forbert's job if he's in the lineup. Forbert is not in the lineup for this game. Evander, do anything.
If anything, it should be Tyler Myers just skating out to be like, no, I'm going to imitate Tyler Myers here. Bro, that's what Tyler Myers should do. Anyway.
Yeah. It's just like, we're not getting what we need out of Kane.
Mm-hmm.
See if LeBate does that.
Shocker. Evander Kane's only good use on a hockey team is far away from it.
Yeah. I think, there was a name. I heard the trade rumor, like, not so much a rumor as somebody kicking out an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
If Buffalo end up in a position where they're selling and we're in a position where we're buying.
Yeah.
There were people linking Alex Tuch to the Canucks.
I don't hate that.
I really like that idea.
Yeah, because his name's Alex.
Doesn't hurt, but also, like, it feels like we are really missing a proper power forward. It feels like we tried to bring one in that has not worked so far. And I really am not especially motivated to see it end up working at some point.
We need a power forward who doesn't hate everyone on his team. Or make everybody on his team hate him.
Well, ideally a power forward who, like...
also contributes on the ice.
Is good at hockey.
Yeah.
Like one who...
Shout out to Evander Kane and JT Miller. Anyway, speaking of forwards we let go, Bo Horvat had a hat trick the other night.
I gotta check Elias Lindholm's stats.
He plays for Boston. They're bad.
He had better... He had, I think, the best stats out of the top 6 centers we've let go / kept recently at one point.
Yeah, but also that own goal. Almost own goal. Swayman kept it out.
Top 6 center scoring own goals is not exactly foreign to us right now.
Oh, yeah, right, I guess.
5 points in 7 games.
They played the Panthers last night, who I think are on a 4-game losing streak.
Do we have an update on the MacGuffin or the loser belt right now?
Shoot. It was the loser belt we gave to Dallas. And then Dallas... give me a second, we are checking. We played them on Thursday?
Yes.
Yes. Friday. Saturday. They still have it as of Saturday. And they haven't played since. So it's still the Dallas Stars with the loser belt. The winners, I'm going to update this now. So in-season losers, Dallas, in-season cup was Philly, because they beat the Oilers. Nope, the Panthers. They beat the Panthers on last Monday. Copy VR checking. I feel like they just lost recently. They did. They lost to the Jets. The Jets held it since Thursday. Went to the Jets. The Jets still hold it. They beat the Preds. Still the Jets.
Still the Jets.
Yes.
All right.
So it is
who I believe were one of your predictions to hold it at the end of the season on our first episode.
Let's go with that. I don't remember. I wrote it down somewhere, and yeah. I'll take it.
There you go. Anything else to talk about around the NHL?
Not at the moment.
All right. One more thing I want to bring up in the rest of the hockey world outside of the NHL that I completely forgot to write down in the doc. PWHL Vancouver and PWHL Seattle have jerseys.
Oh.
I don't really know how to describe these on a podcast because I'm not very good at giving visual descriptions. Vancouver's is blue.
Vancouver's is blue.
Like a bronze and kind of a cream color.
Yeah, the home jersey, I believe it's more like, oh, it's not exactly a royal blue, it's a bit deeper, but it's not a navy blue either. It's kind of in the middle of the two like shade levels. And then a bronzy brown color. I like it, and then a cream. So it's brown, cream shoulder, and then cream, brown, cream, and then same design for the away jersey, but it's the cream color flipped, and then blue shoulder.
So
yeah, I like it.
I quite like these jerseys. Also, according to YVR Hockey on Instagram, give them a follow if you aren't already, Seattle and Vancouver will officially reveal team identities, including names and logos prior to the season beginning, which will be incorporated into uniforms for the 2026-27 season. So first of all, name and logo coming soon. Second of all, don't get too attached to these jerseys. They're probably going to last a year.
Okay.
But getting close to getting a full identity here.
Seattle, Seattle copies a lot of stuff that Vancouver does, but like losing. We'll get to that in a bit. Yeah, they look kind of they're different. The armbands and stuff are different. The shoulders aren't the same. Like, it's a different style, but I don't know. I prefer Vancouver's. I'll say that. But the colors are similar, I think.
Yeah, I think for That's Seattle too. In both cases, really, I think the colors just work well for the city.
Yeah. Okay, the Seattle. This picture is better than the one they had on Twitter. It's more of like a teal instead of navy. That works. Yeah. I really like the Seattle sports team's colors aside from one of them, and yeah, I do like Vancouver's though. It gives like a classy look to it too.
Yeah, I really like the use of the bronze. Like, that's not it's not something you see a whole lot of, so something unique that I like to see.
All right, now to spend. Oh my gosh, it's almost sold out.
How much are they going for?
Oh, I was just looking at the Jen Gardner home jersey replica, because gotta represent someone from my area. Yeah, they only have medium or extra large left. 25, so it's like, I think it's like a same across the board for PWHL. It's 75 for a player jersey, 160 for an adult one. That's
just a blank.
Oh
yeah, nice.
I still need a Victoire jersey. I was like, I'm gonna get Marie-Philippe Poulin one, and they were sold out every single time.
Wonder why.
Yeah. Oh, that's a youth replica. That won't work. Yeah, they only have extra large and double XL, which, I mean, that might work, but they're beautiful jerseys, I will say.
Yeah, no, they've come out really nice.
Like, I love, like, Vancouver's are really nice, but the Montreal Victoire, just amazing. Yeah. Anyway, is there other? I was gonna mention another hockey thing. Jaromir Jagr is still playing.
Yeah.
He's the same age as my parents. That shouldn't be allowed.
I'm so glad that I've seen Jagr play live.
What?
Yeah.
When?
When he was with the Panthers.
Okay.
I went every year except for one. When Luongo came back with the Panthers, I was at the game.
Okay.
One year, Jagr was on the Panthers at that same time. But that was... I don't know how long this tradition went on for, but you know the guys who would follow him around wearing jerseys from his whole career with the mullets?
Yeah!
Yeah, they were at that game.
Oh, that's great.
So not only did I get to see Jagr and Luongo, I got to see the mullet guys. They have a name, but I forget it.
The real legends. Is it the Traveling Jagrs?
It might be.
That sounds somewhat...
Something along those lines, at least.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's it for hockey.
Alright, so let's start with the Caps game against Dallas.
Okay, I will say that the only Seattle's teams whose colors I don't like are the Sounders.
It's a very loud green to be a primary.
It's too bright. Seahawks, love it. Mariners, love it.
Yeah, I like when...
Oh, no. Seattle Storm. I don't like those ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird combo.
Yeah, like the green that the Sounders use, I think works for the Seahawks because it's a secondary color.
Yeah.
Like the Seahawks also, they have that, Seahawks call it action green jersey, where it's the primary. That jersey is a lot.
Yeah.
I, as a big Seahawks fan, would not mind seeing that one retired.
Yeah.
Just like, I want to see a black Seahawks jersey.
That would be cool.
I want a black jersey with that green as the accent.
Also, like, a la Dallas thirds, if you're...
Kind of, yeah, actually.
Okay. I hated those jerseys.
Maybe a little less of the green?
Yeah.
But, like,
those
something
so
like
bad.
that for the Seahawks, I think, would work. I know Bobby Wagner at one point said he was not going to retire until Seattle wore those jerseys, and Bobby Wagner is still playing in the NFL, just not in Seattle.
Okay.
Should probably talk about the thing we said we were going to talk about, shouldn't we? Caps Dallas. So, we'll talk about the game that already happened first.
Oh, yeah, right.
One of the most frustrating Caps games I've ever been to, possibly the most frustrating since the Tim Ford incident.
Oh, you weren't at that. Oh, wait, no, the Tim Ford incident in Vancouver. Yeah, nope, got it.
The original Tim Ford incident.
The original one.
Yeah.
The original one that got Vanny suspended for 6 games.
Yes. So, decision day, going into this game, if the Caps got a win or a draw, they would secure a top spot in the West. I think it was the 11th minute, Matthias Laborda gets sent off, which there's been a lot of debate as to, among Caps fans, as to whether or not that should have been a red card or not. In my opinion, the ref got that one right. I think that one was a red.
Yeah.
I think it was denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity. At that point, things were kind of in disarray because we were down a man against a Dallas team who needed a win to secure their spot in the playoffs.
Yes.
18th minute, Dallas score. 29th, Muller equalizes with a penalty. Dallas score not long after the halftime break. From here, it gets really contentious. I don't know if I'm using the right word there or not, but that's absolutely not the right word. Let's just describe what I'm thinking instead. The referee was making some, shall we say, creative calls.
Okay.
It felt like a lot of the time it was just kind of arbitrary what was and was not a foul at points. There were a couple things that looked like they probably should have been free kicks or penalties given for Vancouver that didn't get called. Maybe this is my bias seeping in, but it really felt like there were some major missed calls against us, whereas there were some calls going Dallas's way that were keeping them around. There's also a ref who apparently back in the old days used to give the Caps a lot of trouble.
Yep. I think I've seen this film before, and I did not like the ending.
Yeah. So, Dallas end up with the 2-1 win. The Caps also had a few moments where they could have scored that equalizer, but it just wasn't going. A couple of posts, some really good saves from Dallas' goalkeeper as well, a couple of just rough finishes. So, a 2-1 win for FC Dallas, who will now be the Whitecaps' opponent in round 1 of the playoffs. Sunday at BC Place, Game 1 goes down in a best-of-3 first round, followed by what will be single elimination playoffs from there.
Okay.
What I'm kind of hoping to see after what we got Sunday is I'm hoping that the crowd in BC Place, because the crowd was getting really worked up about the refereeing and about all of this going on.
Yeah.
I would like to see some of that bleed into next game, because the crowd could be a huge advantage if they take some of that energy and put it out again on Sunday.
I will also say, there was a study about refereeing, how much different officiating crews are influenced by the crowd. And soccer referees or football referees were the most affected by this. So maybe he was affected in a negative way.
Yeah, because there was a lot of booing in his direction, a lot of ref you suck chants, this and that and the other. Like, it was loud, too. Like, it was not just... You'll sometimes be at a game where the only booing or whatever, the only chanting is coming from the supporter section. This was the whole stadium in a sold-out lower bowl on him all night. So if there was some frustration, some negativity, he might have gone, well, I'm not giving you that call.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
So what I'm just really hoping to see is just the crowd coming in feeling like we got hard done by last game and putting that into just supporting the team, chanting. Not necessarily getting on the refs again, but on just making the noise to just try to push the team on.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens here. Matias Laborda will also miss game 1 because of this red card suspension.
I mean, didn't the Caps have like 60% possession, even down 10 men still?
We did, but some of that was just how Dallas were playing it, because I think Dallas needed to win, and they were up 2-1, so I think they just went to 11, basically just playing 10 men behind the ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. 68% possession for the Caps.
That should not... What the hell?
Yeah. So, Laborda suspended. New signing, Judrick. I'm going to say it this way until someone can correct me on this. Judrick Poop was on the bench. Having Poop on the bench was a big help for the team, especially now that we are down Laborda and maybe another center back to step in. I don't know that I would start Poop right away. I would maybe wait a little while on that, especially with the performances Ralph Priso has been giving at center back. I can't take myself seriously. I'm a child.
That's like when Top Gear had to present the Growler.
For me, if I was Jesper Sorensen, which longtime listeners may have realized I am not, I would probably be starting Bilal Halbouni and Ralph Priso as the center backs and have Poop available to come in if needed.
Okay.
We'll see what happens, though. Blackman also not training with the ball yet, so I would assume that's not going to be an option for a while still.
What about Ranko Veselinovic?
If he wants to borrow my ACL, then he can. I'll need it back at some point, but...
In Serbia, we do not tear ACL. That was not a Serbian accent. That was very good. I am a disgrace to my people. Anyway.
There's other playoff matches too, but I'm just like...
Yeah, I think, I'm gonna be honest, we'd play LAFC, right?
The winner of our series against Dallas will play the winner of LAFC in Austin. Presumably that means it'll be us playing LA, or like, in all likelihood, us against LAFC. However, it's the playoffs. Anything can happen. Chaos ball can come in. Austin could put in some really good performances and bounce LAFC. We could just completely not show up and get bounced by Dallas. You never know.
You never know, but if the MLS is going to intervene here, which they like to do, they're going to want the big ticket matchup of Muller versus Son.
That's the thing.
So, that's where I'm at for that one. And, yeah, it depends what angle they want to go for this. Which I'm saying it's like it's a wrestling match when it's not, but anyway. Speaking of players that could be back for big games, do you want to move on to baseball?
Alright, you talk, I'll sit here and disassociate like Quinn Hughes.
Okay, well, I have a question. I have a question. You have to answer it a little bit. But the Toronto Blue Jays are going to the World Series for the first time since 1993. That's the first time in 32 years. Oh my god. It's like, I just look over, you're still staring into space. They beat the Mariners. The Mariners were up 3-1 after a homer from Cal Raleigh. And big dumper. Then George Springer with a Springer dinger, which I feel like there still could be a better word for that. I don't know. It doesn't have the name doesn't have the same aura as the Batista bat flip, but apparently it was louder in there last night than it was for the bat flip, which is the moment in the Toronto Blue Jays postseason, history. They come back. They were down 2-0 early in the series. They come back to win it in 7. A Toronto team has won a game 7. Everyone thought it was a wash because Vladdy wore the Matthews jersey walking in. And you know how the Maple Leafs perform in game 7s.
Austin Matthews in particular.
Austin Matthews in particular, captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, need I remind you.
Also disappeared in the Four Nations final.
Yeah, well, so did Connor Hellebuck. So, yeah, insane game. I'm gonna be real. I am not allowing myself to watch the Blue Jays because every time last time I watched the game was I watched the first 2 games against Seattle, and then I didn't watch the next game, and they won. So I have not watched the game. I was getting text updates from my mother, who now wants to go to a Blue Jays game in the spring. So, thanks Toronto Blue Jays, you got an extra fan. It's crazy. They're going to be playing the LA Dodgers, who have had some time off as well because they swept the Brewers. So we'll see how performance works out. People can say like, oh well, the Dodgers will be well rested and the Jays will be tired. Well, Seattle went 15 innings in their Game 5 against the Tigers, and then they won the first 2 games of the series. Granted, they couldn't pull it off in Game 7, but still they held the edge against the Blue Jays. So I'm not sure how it's going to fare out against the Dodgers, but pitching seems to be going great aside from the little error from the other night. I'm not sure if it was Little's fault. It was Little, right? Yeah, that sounds right. Game 5.
Little gave up the home run to Raleigh, Seranthony Dominguez to Suarez.
Yeah. That was a bad call there by the pitching staff. Especially considering a lot of the stats, which they like to focus on, but also the Blue Jays love the power of friendship. That was a bad call. Most likely won't happen again. The Blue Jays, they're heading strong to this World Series. They win. They've never gotten to the World Series and they not win. Granted, they've gotten to the World Series twice, and it was 1992-93, but yeah. Big chance here. Vladimir Guerrero named MVP of the ALCS. He's crying with Hazel May after the clubhouse looked like a club after the win. And I have an all-important question for you, Alex.
Yes.
Who are you cheering for in the World Series? Because you're a Yankees fan, and the Dodgers beat the Yankees last year in the World Series.
Yeah, so I mean, going into the postseason, this was one of my 2 worst-case scenarios. Worst case, of course, being Red Sox-Dodgers.
Yeah.
This one really didn't take much consideration for me. It was a case of I knew immediately who I would be cheering for in the series once it came down.
Okay. Are we getting a big reveal? No! You suck so bad.
I'm not happy about it. There is no part of me that wants to do this.
I was cheering for the Dodgers last year against the Yankees because of Freddie Freeman. And also because my grandpa was a Dodgers fan. So there's that. But as cool as the LA Dodgers are, it's the Toronto Blue Jays time. Shohei Ohtani, meet Alejandro Kirk.
If you're listening, please save us, Shohei Ohtani.
You can't believe you're saying that, can you?
I don't like it at all.
Take that goddamn hat off.
I hate that I am having to cheer for the Dodgers in this position. I can make peace with it. Because it's at least what I expected. This is my Panthers-Oilers moment, part 2. This is my, I don't like it, but I'm going with it. Plus, like you said, Freddie Freeman, Canadian player. Yeah. Blue Jays.
And?
Lack Canadian players.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
It's internationally for who?
The Dominican Republic.
Plays for the Dominican, not Canada. Freddie was born in the United States and chooses to play for Canada.
Yeah, because the United States is stacked with dudes.
He's Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, I know.
He's a future Hall of Famer.
Let's just talk about it.
He's the best first baseman of his generation. He would play for the U.S. if he wanted to.
Yeah, but he plays for Canada.
And he plays for Canada. Freddie?
Yeah, but...
Canada's player. Bring it home.
I don't care if George Springer has a trash can. Toronto, bring it home.
That before I knock it over. I lost my train of thought while knocking things over on my desk.
ADHD the podcast. It returns.
Also, John Schneider looks like a J.D. Vance edit.
Stop! Okay. I told my mother and she can't unsee it now. This is ruining my life. The Austin Grand Prix, the sprint, insane. Max Verstappen is only 40 points behind Oscar Piastri for the lead of the World Drivers' Championship. Some stuff happened in Austin this weekend. They're headed into the final races of the year. This is where it started to turn last year against the McLarens, especially in Brazil, which is in not this weekend, but I believe the weekend after.
Hold on, my app's glitching.
I have it in my calendar.
Yeah, so Mexico next, then Brazil.
Brazil is... So it's Mexico, weekend off, and then Brazil.
See.
Brazil's, isn't the Halloween weekend, it's the weekend after.
Yes.
Oh no, that happened. I was like, why is it showing that? I thought I did all my games there. Yeah.
5 races left, yes.
5 races left. This is fun. How are you feeling, Mr. McLaren?
I'm feeling good.
Okay.
Here's why I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Everyone is talking about now how there's a 40-point gap between Piastri and Verstappen. Nobody's mentioning the 14-point gap between Lando and Oscar right now.
Okay, Mr. Norris fan. It's Lando Norris. He's gonna bottle it somehow.
He might. But it's a title race here.
It's a title race, but...
It's a title race. And this, to me, is not the same Red Bull as it has been for the past few years.
Yeah, they're awful now, but...
They're awful now. Max is, like, he's the best driver on the grid. But I don't think he has the machinery right now. And I don't know that Red Bull just have... I think it's been better with Mekis than it was with Horner, but I don't know if they're going to be organized enough to pose the same threat that they would have. Like, 2 years ago or whatever, if we were in this position where McLaren had this gap on Red Bull closing like this,
yeah,
I would be worried.
Yeah.
Like, right now, you have to be aware of the possibility.
Yes.
But I feel confident enough in the gap and in McLaren's machinery and organization right now, yes, where I'm not like, okay, well, this is over. Like, it's... Especially the fact that McLaren are the ones in the lead right now. It's very much we control our own destiny.
I will also say, you have to remember, Max Verstappen is insane.
It's F1. You kind of have to be.
Yes, but Max is...
He's insaner.
He's insaner. That's why he keeps dragging a tractor. He did it last year to the World Drivers' Championship.
Part of me wonders how that'll work out, though, because if it comes down to certain situations, I wonder if that almost becomes more of a hindrance.
Nicholas Latifi, get in the cockpit, bro.
Well, he's just gotten his MBA. He's probably busy celebrating that.
Celebrate by getting on an F1 track at Abu Dhabi. I condone it this time. We need MBS God anyway, so let's get him fired. Come on. Yeah. That's... F1 is stressful for something that should not be like, it is stressful, but also, like, it's really just cars driving in intricate circles.
This is kind of how sports works.
This is kind of how sports works, yes. But
sports should not be this frustrating, and yet sports is this frustrating.
Yeah, but the thing, at least with, like, baseball, it's, like, a tangible thing. Whereas F1, like, somebody could just be flying out of nowhere, a la... Actually, I was gonna say Nico Hulkenberg, but let's be real, it was Fernando's fault there. El Nano! Yeah, my goat. Interesting times we live in. Anyway, F1, it's exciting. I'm so glad that it is exciting because I was so bummed when McLaren kept winning, which I understand is probably how most people felt when Red Bull was winning a lot in 2023. Okay, you could stop nodding now.
And Mercedes before that.
And Mercedes before that. But Red Bull have had their reckoning. Yeah, it'll be interesting, especially because, you know, this is the last time with the cars operating that they do. There's no DRS advantage for next season. They're much smaller than they were. We still have to race in Monaco.
Which, in fairness, might be less miserable with the smaller cars.
Yeah, but we also have the new track in Madrid.
Forgot about
Thank
Madrid.
you, Carlos Sainz.
The Madrid track is...
awful.
One of the worst ideas mankind has ever come up with. It looks
awful!
And it's not even like Barcelona is a fantastic race, but it's just like...
I would rather have the Nürburgring.
Well, okay, so here's an idea I had while I was talking with someone about this. So, Barcelona can often be a little bit of a boring race because the teams know it so well because that's the track where they do a lot of their testing. Make a rule that says you cannot do your testing on a track that is part of the grid for this year.
Calendar.
On part of the calendar. So, like, you want to do your testing, okay, go to Paul Ricard or something. Go to Hockenheim. Do it at the Nürburgring. Do it at Mugello. Do it somewhere. There are so many tracks you could be doing this at. Ferrari would never let anyone else test at Mugello. Anyway.
Yeah, like, let's be real here, it's Ferrari.
Yeah, but
they don't want to see...
There's so many other tracks that you could say, okay, do your testing there so it doesn't affect the racing. Have we done this? No. Another street race.
Yay!
Street races are, with the exception of the ones that aren't really street races.
Yeah.
Like, you know, your Montreals and Australias, which are technically a street race, but, like, not really. Like, you could call it a street race, but it's, like...
Montreal's pretty much a track. Like, that's what it's there for the entire year.
It's a track that happens to be a street. Whereas if it's streets being closed off for a track, nobody wants more of these.
Las Vegas sucks. It sucks as a race. It sucks for the drivers. Like, Carlos Sainz ran over a manhole cover in the first session. It sucks for spectators. It sucks for just tourists in Vegas. Like, it sucks. It sucks all around. And also, like... not to be the annoying friend or whatever, but is it not a safety risk to have all the flashing lights, especially the sphere, going during qualifying sessions? Like, how are you expecting drivers to see red flags and yellow flags there?
I hate the sphere.
Like, it's cool, but also it's so useless.
The technology behind it is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should.
Doesn't mean you should.
It's the Jurassic Park argument.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got off topic. Anything else we should talk about this week?
Let's talk about the intricate details of architecture, considering we got into the sphere there. Yeah, I just feel like I would hate going to the sphere, because, like, the seats are so high, and I get it, it's a visual experience, but it's just a giant screen. You can go to Flyover Canada. Like, it's the same thing, pretty much.
I opened something on my phone and an ad started playing.
That sounded like an opening to, like, a college application thing.
Welcome to Capilano University.
Welcome to the University of the Fraser Valley, out in beautiful Abbotsford, BC. Parking sucks. It does. Parking there sucks.
I don't know, I can talk about how the Seahawks were trying to lose last night but failed, so...
Yeah.
This was one of those games where as I was watching it, at certain points felt like neither team wanted to win. But we did, and we're now 5-2 and tied for the best record in the division. Shout out Jackson Smith-Njigba, who is the best wide receiver in the NFL at the moment. Shout out to the official who shielded him from the fight that was breaking out when he was, like, thrown onto Houston's bench and without his helmet in a completely defenseless position. The referee threw himself in front of him to protect him there. Also, Cooper Kupp getting in the way to protect him. Very selfless move by the ref. I don't know if people saw this, but look it up. It's all over the internet. Good stuff from the ref there. We've talked about bad refereeing on the show. That was some good refereeing there. I'll show you.
The Seahawks have 5 wins in the season?
Yeah, they're 5-2.
Oh. Wow.
The Seattle Seahawks are a contender.
That's wild.
We have our quarterback, Sam Darnold, is playing, like, near MVP caliber football. The running game looks great. The offensive line is the best I have seen it in over a decade. The defense has been incredible, with several key players missing a ton of time injured.
So they're the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Yeah, pretty much. Didn't expect to see this at all, but everything is clicking perfectly right now, even though everything's hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Vancouver Whitecaps 2025 season. Gotcha.
Yeah.
The ones hearing Bad Bunny. We will find out.
Anything else we want to get into, or should we wrap things up?
Just kidding, I don't watch the Super Bowl. That's about it. Yeah. I don't have any more thoughts. Brain is empty. Yeah. I need to get coffee.
Same. Alright, big thanks to everybody for listening to this episode. You can find us on social media at Nux Chronicles. Please give us a follow over there. Thank you to Kaya for this week's episode. Thank you to Helmet Marco for listening. Sorry I slagged off your team. Have a great rest of your week.